Hey guys, Death Letter Magic here, and it's time for more spoilers, so let's jump right into it. He's not gonna say it, is he? Heck yeah, I'm gonna say it. Happy Yargle Day. Apparently September 3rd became a celebration of Yargle Bargle. I don't remember how that happened, but he's cool, so alright. They're actually having a Yargle extravaganza on Arena, which now somewhat functions. It's like a free commander thing where you can get, for some reason, 1,200 experience on your Mastery Pass. Kind of an arbitrary number there. And I'll just save you some time. Pick the blue or black deck. Also, before we jump into the spoilers, way more important announcement. Get yourself on Arena, go to the store page, and then under promos or whatever, type in Parcel Mirror. That's PARCELMYR, all one word, no spaces, and you will get 2,000 XP, 2,000 coins, a whole bunch of ICRs, and I think some kind of cosmetics. I got sleeves. And it's basically because quite a lot of people couldn't play, or at least couldn't play properly, or couldn't play the format that they wanted for the last 2 days, so they're just like catching you up with 2 days worth of free stuff. Plus some extras, so we all saw that coming. Also, the 2022 queue works now. We're on our way to recovery. Still, the number one simplest fix, re-banning the card that's supposed to be banned in 2022 format, the Book of Exalted Deeds, they still haven't done yet. How have they not done this yet? They've literally shadow banned a different card without announcing it, and they couldn't ban the correct one. So anyway, that's all the announcements. Now let's jump into Lutadora de Lisa Falconwrath. I think that's a soft C with the fish hook, right? I don't know. I don't do Portuguese. I do the simpler version, aka Spanglish. Oh, by the way, to celebrate Yargle Day, apparently Yargle was known for his diversity and inclusion. Almost none of these spoilers are in English. You're welcome, comma, sincerely Wizards of the Coast. And then they immediately go back to not hiring black people. So anyway, this is Falconwrath Pit Fighter. It's a rare, it's a 1 cost in red, and it's a 2/1. Hello, Vampire Warrior, although I could have sworn that translates directly to Gorilla. Probably not the one you're thinking. And if you pay 2, you can discard a card, just sacrifice a vampire, draw 2 cards, and activate only if an opponent lost life this turn. So that is the most weirdly convoluted, what is it, Tormenting Voice effect? Was that the first one? But I mean, it's a 2/1 for 1 in red. Like, I mean, come on. I'm glad this is a rare because I don't want people drafting this. We have enough red rush, but without this being a goblin, I don't think people even play it, to be honest. So next up we got Lunar Frenzy. It's a 1 cost red plus X instant, and target creature you control gets plus X plus O and gains first strike and trample until end of turn. Oh, that's a spicy boy, because guess what? You can cast it for X equals 0 and just give it first strike and trample. Now, I might just have a bit of a blind spot here, but that might be so powerful of a red instant that you'll see it outside of Standard. We're talking Commander and Modern here. I don't know. Maybe there's a better version? Everyone I've seen like this is green. So, yeah, this is crazy. I mean, my favorite keyword combo is Death Trample, aka Death Touch Trample, because they can only stop 1, which is hilarious. But First Strike Trample is a very close second. You start doing variable X boosting, and it's like, yeah, they're probably not going to be able to block, and if they do, they're going to lose everything. So next up, we've got Devoted Graphkeeper. He's a blue-white 2/1. Everybody's telling me, don't you remember original Innistrad? No, I didn't play back then. Don't you remember Shadows over Innistrad? No, that was a million years ago. But the humans are this color. Well, so far I've seen 3 colors of humans, so, okay, maybe blue-white is spirits. I don't know. A bunch of you broke it down. Apparently it's 5 2-color combinations, whatever. It all looked like green-red to me. Day 1 was nothing but green-red power creatures, so take it up with Wizards. So when ya boy Farmer Jim here enters the battlefield, mill 2 cards, and whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, oh great, tap target creature you don't control. Now that'd be probably flashback, alright, and then he has Disturb 3. And let me just say, this is as close to Reflector Mage as you're going to want to get, which is not very. If I'm not mistaken, Reflector Mage and 2 other cards lit off the whole banning spree of banning 10 cards per year for 4 years or whatever. That was the initial start of it, and it only got worse from there. So you gotta watch them blue-white spirit cards. Speaking of that, of course, he is a spirit on the other side. He's a 3/1 flyer, so all right. He can block only creatures with flying. Okay, that's usually how they do that. And I just realized what he's riding. That's weird. If Departed Soulkeeper would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it. So this is an extremely good card. Now keep in mind, we already have a mono-white spirit deck that's really, really good. It's actually kind of a blitz deck, and if you splash blue, it works a little bit better, and now we're going to get spirits on top of it. So we might have something to fight the ungodly overpowered werewolves. Yay! So which team are you on for the overwhelmingly most ban-worthy, everybody plays it, tier 1, and everything else is, pales in comparison, Innistrad faction, I guess you would say? Are you on Team Werewolf, Team Humans, or Team Spirit? Yes, I made that pun very intentionally. Or Team, Zombie? And then what, vampires? Are they even going to bother? The whole next set's vampires. Which team are you on for which one's going to be absolutely balls to the walls, batshit crazy overpowered? And if you guess vampires, I'll just tell you right now you're wrong. So next up, we've got Gavony Dawnguard in some kind of special frame because it's in the promo pack, actually. I thought I heard a rumor that there's 2 cards you can't get from the boosters. You can only get them from somewhere else, but I think the promo packs are for like winning F&M. Well, if you need the card to put in your deck to win F&M, then nobody has it, which means on day 1, nobody will have it, but everybody will need it, and the supply worldwide will be 0, which means that the store owners are going to open all the promo packs and sell them on eBay. So I hope it's not this one. Anyway, this is a double white 3-cost human soldier, 3/3 with ward 1. I love that. And if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as Gavony Dawnguard enters the battlefield. And then whenever day becomes night or night becomes day. I feel like there's got to be a better way to phrase it than that lengthy version, but okay. Whenever the game state switches between day or night. Boom. That's less words. Anyway, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Oh, that's a defensive card. You know the werewolves are going to be flipping it back to night as much as they possibly can. And then I guess the humans are probably going to flip it to day. I think that's kind of what's going on here. But my God, is this absolutely insane. You just look at the top 4 and like, oh, look, another creature. Boom, into my hand. If you give white recurring, we'll just say draw. This is like selective draw. This is better than blind draw. So if you give them draw plus, oh, they're going to run your ass over. And they forgot to make this creature legendary because you really don't want 2 of these out. That's a little much. And they couldn't have set a random order. I know it's absolute bullshit to randomize 3 cards. You're just not. I just don't want to have to pretend to do this on Arena. Oh, put them in any order. I'm going to be like, whatever the hell you handed them to me in. I don't give a shit. They're going to be like 50 cards down. Why would I care? So next up, we got Blade Stitched Scab. It's a 2/3 for 2 blue. In case you haven't heard, I have trouble looking at colors and naming them for some reason. I believe that's black. I'm leaving it in. I'm not hiding anything. No joke. Sometimes I have to look at it, think about it for a second, and then either memorize it or write it down. Anyway, it's just a shitty Lord's card, but it's a semi-Lord's card because we all know the zombies are meant to die, damn it. That's the theme of the set. So they only get +1 attack, but no toughness. Well, if they're going to do a Lord's card, I guess this is, the safest you can do. You guys know I'm not a fan of it. This whole just basic bitch tribal boost, easy as pie, boring-ass deck that either runs you over or doesn't, 1 board wipe and they're dead. I mean, it's a very basic bitch deck, like I said. But this is a little more interesting, and the decay thing is a little more interesting, and that toy card is a little more interesting. So, okay, I'm liking this. Next up, we have a blue spell. I cheated and looked at the frame color. I can't name the mana symbols. That's what the real problem is. But anyway, it's a reprint of Dissipate, which this spell is amazing. So, counter target spell. If that spell was countered this way, exile it instead of putting it in its owner's graveyard. So, no flashback, no resurrection, no passing go, do not collect $200. I love this. It was useful back then. It's useful now. Next up, we got, I know you guys love it when I try it. Vorratskammer Zombie. Normally, I would try to guess what the translation is based on German's word smashitude. It's like a word scramble, kind of, except that's just their whole language. And then use the art as a reference, but I have absolutely no idea. All right, the answer is apparently Pantry Zombie. What are you guys even up to over there in Germany coming up with Vorratskammer and it means pantry? I bet it's one of those compound words that means like food storage place closet thing. And then you're like, should we come up with a shorter word? Nah. That's what you get for the people left behind after all the cool Germans were like, let's go to Wisconsin. I'm half German. I can make those jokes. So anyway, this is a 1/3 for 1 creature zombie. It has Defender, and it says tap 3 untapped creatures you control. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card in the graveyard. Absolutely, under no circumstances would that in any universe be worth it. Unless it's during your opponent's end step. He just ain't getting that jar open. Next up, another English one. It's Hobbling Zombie. It's a 3-cost 2/2 with Death Touch. And when it dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. A 2-for-1 special. I guarantee they're less interested in a deck that would play this with the actual zombie and more on the death trigger. Next up, we got the old black and white horror movie frame, which is the thing they're doing. By the way, I'll probably show off the lands at some point. Right now, why not? So that's what the basic lands look like. I don't know what they're in or how you get them, and I don't care. So Gisa, Glorious Resurrector. She's a 4-cost double black 4/4 legendary creature human wizard, and if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Very useful because there's going to be so much graveyard recursion, it's going to make you sick to your ass. And then we've got at the beginning of your upkeep, put all creatures exiled with Gisa Glorious Resurrector onto the battlefield under your control. They gain Decayed. Holy tits, that's ridiculously overpowered. Even with Decayed, that is ridiculous. I thought they couldn't do any worse than the Black Norwegian God, but my gosh, this is arguably worse. All you have to do is kill something. It doesn't have to be discarded or sacrificed, just killed. And then you get it and you can attack with it once. But it is decayed, it can't block. Who cares? You have an army. It's 1 versus 1. You have, in theory, about the same amount of creatures as they do in an average game. So you start removing, -1 creature from them, +1 for you. Does it make 1 damn ounce of difference that you can't block with them? No, it doesn't. This entire card is absolutely, completely f***ed. Can't wait to see this band. Next up, we got Flame Channeler. It's a 2-cost 2/2, and when a spell you control deals damage to anything, I guess, any target at all, transform Flame Channeler. And on the back, we have Embodiment of Flame. Oh boy, I bet they're bringing Burn back. I can't wait. It's going to be Burn plus Devil Haste plus Goblins. Great. Yeah, that's what the format needed. So it's a 3/3 elemental wizard, and whenever a spell you control deals damage, put a flame counter on Embodiment of Flame, and if you pay 1, remove a flame counter from Embodiment of Flame and exile the top card of your library. You may play this card this turn. Yep, it's Burn. And this isn't even a rare mythic, which means that they have completely and utterly underestimated the unbelievably overpoweredness of this stupid card. So yeah, pretty darn pushed. That's about as pushed as you can get in a Burn deck. Or just Red Winds, I would say. Next up, we've got... what the hell does that say? Bella Garoon Zombie. If they would just print Bratwurst Zombie, I would get it right because I know how to say Bratwurst. So based on the artwork and the name, I'm gonna say it translates to Wall Breaker Zombie. I don't know. German is so weird. Oh, I was arguably close. It's Siege Zombie. Oh boy. So it's a 2-cost 2/2, and that first line is why nobody believes German is a real language. You've got a Tappa Dry Ungetapped Creaturen. It just sounds like an extremely drunk French person. Or a massively illiterate English person. Anyway, tap 3 untapped creatures you control. Each opponent loses 1 life. Well, you better do something with the zombies that you can't do anything else with or block with. If they think that losing access to 3 creatures is worth 1 life worth of damage, then they don't know how attacking works. I mean, what is this even for? And then it's in the format or in the meta or the archetype or whatever where you can't block anyway. I mean, it's not like your whole damn deck's gonna be decayed, but some of it will. Are you waiting for something with them and you're supposed to tap them while you wait for something to happen? Is there some big decayed bomb where you sack them and deal 5 damage each or something? I hope not. So next up we got Clear Shot. Pretty sure that's a reprint. It's a 3-cost green instant, and target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. AKA what I call a pseudo fight card because it's not a true fight. Well, at least this time around it doesn't cost 2, and oh wait, I forgot about Space Norway. At least it doesn't cost 1. And grant indestructible. So next up we got a card in Japanese that allegedly translates to Fangblade Thief, although Asian languages are the hardest to translate, and I'd say about 1 in 3 cards are translated wrong until Wizards releases the real one, so just keep that in mind. So it's a 4-cost red 3/4 human rogue werewolf, and if you pay 2, 1 generic +1 red, Fangblade Thief gains +1/+0 and first strike until end of turn. And then of course that side is Daybound. Then we got the other side, which is Fangblade Craven. I don't know about that translation. Haven't heard that word in a while, but okay, it's a creature werewolf, and then if you pay 2, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn, but no first strike. And then if you pay 5, creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Nightbound, 4/5, because of course werewolves weren't overpowered or annoying enough already, although that is 5 mana. But then again, green is the companion color for werewolves, so you probably won't have trouble getting to 5. Next up, we've got Eingesbert im Freidhof. Well, that one's extremely obvious. It's Let Me Out, I'm Fred. I mean, what else would it be? The website I'm looking at says it's Stuck in the Cemetery. Pff, obviously, that's not the translation. So it's a 2-cost blue enchantment or a enchant creature, and when Let Me Out, I'm Fred enters the battlefield, if you have 5 or more cards in your graveyard, tap enchanted creature, and then regardless, enchanted creature does an untap during its controller's untap step. So we're doing that pseudo threshold +1 but -3 this time. Threshold was 7. Everything in that stupid rogue set was 8. Now we're just arbitrarily adding 5. Alrighty then. Well, good card. We needed a 2-cost pin down. We really did. Bubble Snare is a better card, though. But seriously, can somebody go let Fred out? He looks like he's kind of panicking. To be honest, we might have to get the fire department to get his head out from between. Oh, he can just go up higher. Okay, never mind. Never mind, you guys. You can put the hacksaw away. Never mind. Next up, we got Curse of Shaken Faith. Yeah, didn't Evason like die or something? Anyway, it's a 2-cost enchantment or a curse. Oh, here it is. Enchant player, and whenever enchanted player casts a spell other than the first spell they cast each turn, or copies a spell. I'm glad they threw that in to reference all the assholes from Strixhaven. And then Curse of the Shaken, or Curse of I always want to put the Curse of Shaken. Oh, Faith. Oh, because there's another word. Faith deals 2 damage to them. Okay, so it doesn't stop you from casting more than one spell. It just penalizes you. See, that's a little softer than just each player can only cast 1 per turn. I kind of hate cards that do that. Well, that's not the curse that turns into a creature. Apparently, we still got that one coming. But just the fact that there are curses, I'm pretty excited about. So next up, we got Rite of Harmony. Got the humans in there. Join the dance in Rite of Harmony. Let's all hold hands. I honestly hope they lose. I hope the werewolves win. I mean, the Village People's influence has really been falling off since the 80s, but anyway, this is a 2-cost, 1 white, 1 green instant, and whenever a creature or enchantment enters the battlefield under your control this turn, on which you've already burned 2 mana, draw a card, and then flashback 4, which, what are you casting if you've already burned 4? But it should cost a lot because the spell's basically replacing itself. I feel like there's better card draw in white and there's better card draw in green, and that we've already been promised better card draw in white by Mark Rosewater. In this set, like I'm not even kidding. Next up, we got some kind of ooze. Let me pull up the translation here. You know what? I'll guess at this one, even though I have nothing phonetic to go on and the art is a generic ooze. I'm going to say that it's a play on words with ooga booga, and it's going to be oozga boozga. Well, it turns out it's consuming ooze, allegedly. So it's a 5-cost mythic rarity ooze. Hello. Not legendary, though. Doesn't have a name. And its power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. Oh, so they did mistranslate it. It's Oozmagoyf. So also, at the beginning of your end step, create a green ooze creature token with this creature's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyards, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. So you clone it for free at every single end step, including the one that it came out. So that's slightly more reliable, powerful, and annoying than Scoot Swarm. Except that it doesn't double every time from 2 to 4 to 8 to 16. Still, utterly ridiculous, but we all know that everybody's going to play graveyard clearing effects. We all know that Black already has one. It's discard 2 cards, and then your opponent also nukes their entire graveyard. Everybody's going to play that, which means whether your deck needs discard or not, everybody's going to play that. And I think, is Tormod going to still be legal or something like Tormod's? Probably. Yeah, everybody's going to run that, which means this isn't that good of a card, but otherwise this is an insane card. Oh my god, put this in your commander deck. Yeah, I think they went way too far. Anytime you can just clone something for free with no mana, no restriction, no penalty, that's ridiculous, and this thing is already hyper powerful. So the only thing that I can think that's worse is probably Tender Shoot Dryad, because that was both turns, although keep in mind they were saplings, but she also boosted them. This is like 90% that bad, which is still way too fucking bad. At least it costs 5, it's in green, and it has absolutely nothing to do with werewolves. I don't know if we'll actually see this. If we do, it won't be 4 of. But in a mono green deck, which is currently absolutely kicking ass as a general archetype in the 2022 queue, oh, watch out. So next up, we've got Curse of Leeches. I thought either this was spoiled or the name was leaked or something about it. I just remember that name from something. I don't know. Oh, this is the curse aura that turns into a creature. All right, kind of wish we had a 100% for sure English translation of it. Or not even just the English version, the original of it. Because remember, we're designing the cards in English and then putting them into Japanese and then translating them back. So if you guys are wondering why some translation errors happen. Anyway, it's a 3-cost rare aura in black, enchant player. It's an aura curse, obviously. When this card transforms into Curse of Leeches, attach it to a player. Wait, is this not? No, this is the front side. What do you mean transforms? Okay, I guess they're referencing a future time where you'd flip it and flip it back or something. I hate flip cards. So, okay, when this card transforms back to this side, attach it to a player. Makes sense. And then at the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Oh, and then that side is daybound. Okay, and then blood-sucking dark leech, creature, leech horror, lifelink, Nightbound. And then obviously returns to your battlefield. So it goes from attached to them, and then at the beginning of their upkeep, they lose life and you gain a life. And then if it's nighttime, you get a 4/4 lifelink leech creature. I'd rather just reliably ping them away. I mean, a 4/4 with lifelink is no joke when you only had to pay 3 for it. But I don't know. Black doesn't have very many day-night cards. So, I mean, if you're playing against werewolves, it'd be kind of nice. But you've already lost if you're playing against werewolves. Oh, I pinged them for 1. Oh, and then I took 12 damage with Trample, Unstoppable on turn 4. Alrighty then. For the couple people saying, it won't be that bad, you need to go back to math class. Or just shut the hell up. One of the two. I really don't care. Fucking pick one. Next up, we've got Doomblade Scoundrel. It's a 4-cost black creature, human rogue werewolf, and whenever Doomblade Scoundrel becomes blocked, creatures blocking it get -1/-1 until end of turn, so kind of like Wither, but not complete shit. Although I think it literally is Afflict. I guess they just didn't feel like printing Afflict on there to confuse people. So that's the Daybound side. It's a 4/3s, if that wasn't bad enough. Now on the flip side, the dark side, the Nightbound side, the join the dark side of the 4th side, we've got Doomclaw Marauder, creature werewolf. When Doomclaw Marauder becomes blocked, creatures blocking it get -1/-1 until end of turn. And then whenever a creature blocking Doomclaw Marauder dies, its controller loses 1 life. Ouch. So it's 1 bigger across the board, and then has that death trigger as well. Pretty spicy. And by the way, the werewolves are up to 3 colors, so all of you were wrong. The humans are also up to 3 color, so I take back what I said about you guys being correct about the 2 color combinations. In fact, haven't we seen a red spirit so far? Next up, we have Can't Stay Away. Oh my god, I want this card in foil, and I want it now. Oh my god, if this card implies that they're killing the cats with poison food, I swear this chair I'm sitting in will go out the window that I'm staring at. So it's a 2-cost sorcery, 1 black, 1 white, which they already have enough good removal spells or whatever, so hopefully that's not that. Oh, good, it's a Resurrector. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if this creature would die, exile it instead, so you can't do it twice. And then it has Flashback 5. I mean, once again, as Flashback traditionally is, that's a little much on the power scale for 2, although it is sorcery speed. And then the Flashback is obnoxiously overcosted for the fact that it's limited to 3, but holy crap, they finally made a Graveyard Resurrector that's limited to 3. But yeah, I mean, direct to the battlefield? That's pretty nuts. Next up, we got Geist Flame Reservoir. I'm going to guess that probably translates. Oh my god, I just realized the card's in English already. Well, then it's Ghost Flame Reservoir. I guess the wizard/artificer is German? Somebody should tell Wizards of the Coast that poltergeist is really still a German word. It's not even really technically an English word. Anyway, it's a 3-cost red artifact, and it says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter on it. Oh my god, is it going to be a Storm Enabler? Or a Red Wind/Burn Enabler. I'm going to say Storm Enabler because it's charge counters. Let's see. So if you pay 2, tap it, remove any number of charge counters from Geist Flame Reservoir. It deals that much damage to any target. Okay, well, it's a Red Winds Enabler. Although it costs 3 and it slowly builds up over time. I don't know if you can really call that like Red Wind's traditional burn. It's not that fast, but okay, whatever. Then we've got pay 2, tap it, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. And this is a rare, but they have better Red Winds and better like burn spells in the uncommon and common slot. I'm starting to think that this is kind of a draft card, but they don't usually do that with the rare slot, so I don't know what to think of this. It's definitely annoying. Next up, Thermal Alchemist. We got another reprint here. It's 2-cost 0/3 classic. Defender, which is definitely part of early game Red Blitz for sure. Very hard to stop an 0/3 with Defender from hitting you in the first 3 turns, just saying. So if you tap it, it deals 1 damage to each opponent, but then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap it. I wasn't kidding, it's actually a Red Wind Burn Enabler. This card is painfully annoying. Next up, we've got Ancestral Mirror. You guys know I love a good mirror, but unfortunately this is a transform card, which means I already hate it. Bring back that other mirror from Space Egypt. That one was totally badass. Let me just say, who would even live in this absolute shithole of a plane? I get it, they can't really do interplanar travel, but like, either clean it up, or make your own little like separatist North Korea where you just, everybody just attack on, tightens up, and just builds a wall, and you don't let any of this crazy ass shit in. Don't let any of the necromancers, the witches, the demons, the vampires, I suppose they could just fly over the wall. Just This is a no evil zone. Like, how do you live in this place and just be like, yep, demon came out of the mirror at Steve's house. Oh shit, Innistrad. Isn't Innistrad wacky? I love living here. Boy, it's just a thrill a minute. What the hell is wrong with these people? There's werewolves, there's freaking vampires, they're all out to kill it. It's like, this is like Australia on steroids. Who would live in this shithole and just be like, oh, we just live in the town and we farm and stuff, and if anything goes down, I've got my trusty pitchfork. The people who live here, just the humans, the regular ass humans, must be the dumbest human beings on any plane in the entire multiverse. I just felt like that needed to be said. Anyway, let's see what's coming out of the mirror. Oh, it's a demon. Anyway, I should read the front. It's 2 cost black artifact, and if you pay 1, tap it, pay 1 life, and discard a card, so that's 4 costs. Then you can draw a card, then mill a card. Then place a ritual counter on the ancestral mirror. Then if there are 3 or more ritual counters on it, you done f***ed up. Remove them all and transform it, and then activate only as a sorcery. You know, despite the imagery, it would appear that, like, your opponent doesn't get the demon. You now have a demon. So you made too many wishes and did too many rituals, and now the demon's coming through the mirror. But it's cool. He's friendly. No, he's not. It's Innistrad. What the hell is this card? Is this just mistranslated? So anyway, on the back, we've got Inherited Demon. Really? Now you have to pay estate taxes on him, too. So he's a flying 4/4, and if you pay 3, including 1 black, exile target creature from a graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on Inherited Demon. Holy shit, that's ridiculous. So, okay, it's going to take a while to get this to work, because, I mean, it doesn't have Summoning Sickness, so you can activate the tap ability the second it comes out, but you're 4 turns away from it, and you do get to draw 4 cards, but you also have to discard a card and lose a life, and then mill a card every time, so... I don't know, I mean, it's not a rare. I don't think they then anticipated it being all that good, but it's kind of neat. Doesn't make an absolute lick of sense, but okay. So next up, we've got Foul Play. It's a 2-cost sorcery. Destroy target creature with power 2 or less. Investigate, so in other words, a worthless, unplayable pile of shit. Oh, good. Black gets kill spells that can kill anything other than a werewolf because they're pretty much 3 across the board. That's nice. You can kill anything, so as long as it's not a threat to you in any way, shape, or form. What a fantastic card. I'd say it's a draft card, but do you see a common symbol on there? Because I don't. I see an uncommon symbol. So that would downgrade it to just a bad card. So next up, we got Ominous Roost. I just absolutely love the way that crow's looking at us. It's kind of like an owl or like a puppy when they hear something. Or maybe he just got into the fermented crab apples and now he's kind of drunk. You know, he thinks that is the world's level. I heard they do that. So it's a 3-cost blue enchantment, and whenever Ominous Roost enters battlefield, or whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying, and this creature can block only creatures with flying. Well, I do love a good swarm of things, but this is no octopus tentacle generator thing, or whatever the hell that thing was. I just played against it in the Yargle Day Brawl. That card is no joke. They made it flying, and I'm glad I top-decked a removal spell or I would have died the next turn. So, I mean, that's kind of neat. I mean, if you're relying on flashback, and then you're going to cast something you don't really need just to get a crappy 1/1 bird, I mean, it's not that good, and it can't even block, but if it's like a supplement to what you're doing anyway, it's a pretty good card. So I think people run like a 1 of or a 2 of this. But the thing is, though, the birds aren't spirits. So, like, I don't know. Next up, we got Arcane Infusion. Oh, good. It's another freaking storm-obsessed Is It knockoff jackass. So it's 2-cost, 1 blue, 1 red. Instant, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and then flashback 5. I mean, yeah, you're just going for the card you need. But burning 2 mana, I mean, that'll slow you down. I'm fine with that. Although back in the day, you could have went for Garrus Masterpiece. That card was insane. That was the 7/7 flyer that shrunk based on your opponent's hand, right? Or something like that. Next up, if you voted Werewolf, you might want to take it back because we've got Kessig Naturalist. He's probably a vegan werewolf. I think that takes a little confidence away from the werewolf cause in the vote that I asked you to do about 20 minutes ago. I'm sure you guys voted for the Village People just for the memes. So anyway, it's 2/2 when it enters, or no, pardon me, when it attacks, add 1 red and 1 green to your mana pool. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end, because who the hell is going to cast something in a creature-heavy werewolf deck in the middle of combat? They didn't put that, but that's just because it didn't fit. And then Daybound. And then on the Nightbound side, he's Lord of Ulvenwald. We've established that as German. I'm pretty sure they do that to their wobblewoos. Just like I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce that letter. So it is a 3/3 werewolf, and other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1, because of course we needed another damn 2-cost Lord's card. That's just great. And then whenever Lord of the Ulvenveld attacks, add 1 red or 1 green mana to your mana pool. I really hate that they stopped saying to your mana pool. It's like, yeah, where else would it go? But it feels like you cut off the sentence. It doesn't sound right. Anyway, until end of turn, you don't lose his mana, his phases end, yeah, whatever, shut up, but it won't cross a turn, and then just Nightbound. It's the exact same thing on the other side, except 1 bigger across the board, and then also a Lord's card that boosts the rest of your Wolf tribal. Or, obviously, werewolves, but yeah. Alright, we did not need this. And we already got the Wolf Planeswalker that makes it impossible for somebody to attack you. They're already the biggest, baddest, quickest, earliest creatures with the most boost. They have the most on-the-card, non-card draw-based boost. So in other words, activated ability boost. They're the strongest creature by far in this set. I don't think anything else is going to compete with them. I mean, we are only 85 cards in, but I mean, come on. I see the writing on the wall. I see where we're pointing with this one. Next up, we got a very interesting looking card here. It's the Celestis. I thought initially that was like Ulamog's corpse or something, because it kind of looked like his feet or something, but inverted. But then I realized he died on a different plane, I think. What was it, Zendikar? I think it was Zendikar. Yeah, and then Emrakul came to Innistrad for the cheese, and then they're like, well, fine then. And then you get trapped in the moon. She's like, fine, maybe I will. And then, like, she doesn't want to leave the moon now because then it would look like she was just being a bitch, which she was, but she's going to wait it out at least 100 years, obviously. That's just the official lore in case you didn't read it back then. But the Celestis is a legendary artifact, 3 cost, generic, 100% colorless. And if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as the Celestis enters the battlefield. And then you can tap and add 1 mana of any color, so okay, nice. And then you pay 3 and tap. If it's night, it becomes day, otherwise it becomes night. So that's the 3rd different way that they've written that now. My God, have they ever heard of consistency? And then activate only at sorcery speed. I knew they would do a day flipper card. I just didn't think it would actually be colorless. But, I mean, I guess so far all the colors care about it, so why not? But we didn't really need this card at all. But wait, there is more. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain 1 life, comma, run this in your fucking Angels deck. Werewolf Suppression with automatic healing with automatic life gain triggers that drop counters on your Angels that fly over the top of werewolves as you weaken them. I'm pretty sure everything I said there was redundant, but still. Yeah, we didn't need this. But wait, it actually says whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain 1 life. You may draw a card if you do discard a card. So it's also a consistency booster. So you're going to make your way to that stupid get to 35 and win Angel, which they have to ban. They have to ban that card eventually. It's only going to get worse. Right now, it's in the absolute most powerful Tier 1 deck, as proven by one of the first people to get to rank 1 Mythic in the last ranking season. They even tweeted out their deck list on Twitter and a screenshot proving I am ranked number 1 in Mythic, and it took them like, I don't know, 8 days to do it, or like 5. It was ridiculously short. So the deck is completely and utterly broken, and it loses basically nothing when it rotates out. And now we've got this on top of it. Utterly ridiculous. Mono white life gain and its stupid accompanying triggers have been completely out of control since Amonkhet and now Mark Rosewater has promised us that there's a recurring white card draw card in the set where you don't do anything to trigger it at all. Or I think he said you don't spend mana, or I don't know. It'll just be, oh, what now white outdraws you 2-1. Yeah, something is going to have to be done about that deck immediately after this comes out. And if they were smart, and if they pulled their heads out of their asses, they'd figure out to ban it before the set comes out. If you ban something right when rotation happens, like the day before the set comes out, it's just another card that everybody lost. Everybody's rebuilding their decks anyway, but Wizards is too fucking stupid to do that. They can't figure out that that's the ideal time to rip off the Band-Aid and piss off the least number of people. No. We have to wait and see, guys. We got to see if the meta adapts to an unbeatable deck that's all flyers that has life gain that you got to kill twice and can't stop. And now gets resurrection power and double the card draw. Oh, let's see if something comes out to beat that. I mean, obviously the answer is no, and obviously they didn't learn shit from the Eldrazi winter. Wait and see never works. Didn't work with the Eldrazi, didn't work with Hitler, not gonna work now. So yeah, this card is bullshit. Let's move on. Next up, we got Vampire Socialite, because everybody knows this is the vampire set, and you should definitely build a vampire deck before Crimson Vow comes out. I'm sure they didn't gut the whole set to put all the good vampires and mythic ones and legendary ones in the next set. They wouldn't do that. I mean, they did do that. So anyway, this useless, undraftable pile of shit is a 2/2 generic blah vampire noble Black Red, Menace, who gives a shit. And when it enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on each other vampire you control. Okay, that's just going to be a power card during the next set. Also, why the hell does that woman have a man face? Oh wait, it's wizards, never mind. And then as long as an opponent lost life this turn, each other vampire you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Well, that's f***ing annoying. Next up, Seize the Storm. Oh god, it has the word storm right in the title. Here we go. Buckle up, everybody. It's a 5-cost red sorcery, which, arguably isn't a storm card at that cost, but okay. Create a red elemental creature token with trample, and this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of instant sorcery cards in your graveyard plus the number of cards with flashback you own in exile. And then flashback 7. Okay, if you're sitting there chucking mono red or red blue mix spells at them and you haven't won the game by the time you have this out, then your deck blows and you shouldn't have built it. So this actually, despite having Storm in the name and looking hyper powerful from the art, is actually complete and utter ass. Next up, we got Graveyard Trespasser. It's a 3-cost, 3/3 black human werewolf. Are werewolves 5 colors or 4 colors now? Wait, we haven't seen a white werewolf. I could track this, but I don't give enough of a shit, and this set is going to be a disaster, so why even put 2 seconds of effort into figuring out what's what when it's all going to go to shit and be banned anyway? Pretty sure I just paraphrased the thoughts of the entire community, or at least the members of it that are smart enough to see where we're going with this and compare it to Wizards past. So anyway, 3/3 for 3 Graveyard Trespasser Human Werewolf with Ward, discard a card. Oh good. And whenever Graveyard Trespasser enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life, and then Daybound. But wait, on the dark side, ooh, spoopy. It's a 4/4 Werewolf with Ward, discard a card. Let's see, whenever it attacks, you can exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards, okay, including yours, and then for each creature card exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 2 life. That could get nuts, but you're going to run out of targets at a certain point. But you're slowly, draining away their graveyard, so, not bad. Even if you're not playing werewolves at all, you might want to consider just this 1 card. As if anybody's going to play anything other than red-green werewolves. But next up, we got Curse of Silence. I guess that's a Hogwarts tie-in there. A little early for the Harry Potter set, but okay. Although I think the only movie we have left coming in the series is Harry Potter and the shitty trilogy that shouldn't have been made. So, I don't know. I think after Lord of the Rings, I don't think we're going to see a Harry Potter tie-in. People keep saying it, but it's become more of a joke and a meme. Anyway, that is definitely a talking animated portrait, so... Alrighty then, make of that what you will. So this is an Aura Curse. It's so blurry that I can't tell for sure if that's a mythic, but I think it is. It's like really light orange. I don't know. I don't see the dark to light orange gradient. Whoever did this, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, it's an Aura Curse in white, which you don't see very often, but okay. Enchant player, a Curse of Silence, or as Curse of Silence enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Nice. I love name jamming. And spells with the chosen name that enchanted player cast cost 2 more to cast. I think still I can make the call in the middle of the card without even reading the rest of it. It's banned in Brawl. New ban announcement. Bye-bye. And then whenever enchanted player casts a spell with the chosen name, you may sacrifice Curse of Silence. If you do, draw a card. Okay, with that last part, this is literally targeting Brawl and Commander. Because once they've paid it, it's like, yeah, it's their commander, obviously, but once they've gotten past it, you're like, well, okay, they'll probably get past it again, except the next time it dies, it now goes up by like 4, because they got to pay 2 more, and then 2 more because of this, so would you really sack it? But I guess in a non-Brawl game, if you think they don't have more than 1 of the card in their deck, I guess? I think the last card is just if you're desperate for a card, and you're like, well, they paid the 2, I guess nothing's stopping them. Whatever, I'll just take a damn card. Maybe I'll be able to get an exile spell. So certainly interesting. I don't think it's powerful enough to even be worth playing, to be perfectly honest. If you're going to play it on turn 1, if it's your turn, you literally don't even know what color they're playing unless it's game 2 or 3, making this worthless in best of 1. But if there was still GPs in large tournaments, you could run this just by having your team illegally scout and share information with you, which ironically is actually not illegal. It's well within the rules. Like, if you're on a team and you're scouting and gathering information, walking around, watching the matches, watching the live stream, tweeting each other, jumping on your cell phones, all that crap that people always do, then you can come to your teammate and say, oh, if you play against this guy in the finals, jam this card. That's his power card. That's his combo card. So before even game 1, you would know it. That's why, among 50 other reasons, I had no respect for paper high-level pro play at like Grand Prix and stuff. It was just an absolute joke, and everybody was cheating. And finally, the last card for today. Ooh, here it is. I think this is the one they were talking about. Pithing Needle. So it's a one-drop, ultra famous artifact. It's a rare in this set, which is kind of surprising. And it's generally about a $6 to $10 card, so, you know, hasn't been printed that many times, so we could use it. And in the spirit of name jamming, we've got as Pithing Needle enters the battlefield, choose a card name, activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. I 100% assure you that day one this is pre-banned in Brawl. Hell, it's probably already been announced. They're probably not even waiting for the set to come out. This is literally Sorcerous Spyglass. This is literally Sorcerous Spyglass without the hand spy for half the mana. Yeah, it's banned. So what a card to end it on. Holy cow. So anyway, thanks for watching. Watch for very, very late tomorrow because unfortunately I'm working all weekend very far away. But I should get home at about 1 in the morning. Fantastic. But very, very, very late tomorrow you'll see a spoiler video. So watch for that and I'll see you guys next time.